Okay, so what are the next steps? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate and take off this tail housing extension from the automatic transmission. There's 7 bolts that go around the outside of it. We already loosened them. We were going to take this off originally before we pulled the engine, but then we decided not to, and probably a good thing. All the problems we had, it might have hurt the shaft if we hadn't done that. Then we'll disconnect the main transmission with its bell housing and pan and all the internals from the engine. Then we'll probably drop the exhaust manifolds. Then we'll put this on a, I may take more of it apart to cut the weight down, and then we'll put it on an engine stand and start knocking it apart. Although since it's hooked up to the forklift, it's kind of easy to lift now and put it in an engine stand. The other thing that I want to do, that we will do, is I want to stretch out all the wiring, have everything connected that's supposed to be connected, and so that when we put it back together, we have a good idea of what everything was and exactly what was needed. So that's about it for the engine. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I started looking at this, and the lines that are on there, there's RF, LF, LR, RR, and these got unplugged. So I started thinking, well, wait a minute, I know what those are. This is right front oxygen sensor. This is left rear oxygen sensor. This is right rear oxygen sensor. And that's left front oxygen sensor. So, this was the speedometer. Okay. And that's why I said those are still there. That's why I like the idea of doing this now. These were not connected to anything. They were sitting there. I'm thinking it's, if you had 4-wheel drive, which this will become, that's for the transfer case, so it knows where you're shifted. If you're in low range, high range, what you're in. But the point I was going to make is, rather than just taking photographs of all this, those labels gave me a good idea. I'm going to create labels that are even more specific. So I'll put on here oxygen sensor right front, oxygen sensor left rear, ignition coil connection, temperature gauge connection, etc., etc. Left injector, right injector, left injector 1, injector 2, injector 3, all the way through. I think that makes a lot of sense.